Have a good blow for a guide circle. My circles come in kit form, like this. That is a circle kit. You have to form it yourself at home. We also sell them in a bag, so it's like take away. You have a little slurp. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a deliciously nice day today. It's not sunny, it's just nice and bright and mild, just how I like it. Oh, I think I might have put a little bit too much caramel in that. It's like a cup of liquid toffee. Good afternoon, Carl. Hope you're well, sir. Hope it's well in Bingley. Hey, Google, play Bangra Beat. I bet he's on his headphones. Good afternoon, Facebook user. Don't know who you are. He didn't give it permission. Hashtag Les or at Les. What about Zaya? In sunny Chester today. In sunny Chester today. So that means you travel. So always Facebook user in sunny Chester. Not bad buggy. Still playing with my stones. Get that one. You got to get your rocks off on something, don't you? I don't know if anybody's coming on today, but if they are, what I'll do, I'll put the banner on. So if you have got a webcam or your mobile and you fancy coming on, there is the link. I've got a couple of little drop-in videos for you today. Liam did one for you, which is a building tutorial, usage, if you like, of one of the products that we sell, which is this. I like that name. I can't stop. So once you start saying it, I'm thinking Imhotep. You know what I mean? So when I say that, I say Akuseta. Akuseta. You know what I mean? That's just like Imhotep. It's the same thing, isn't it? Akuseta. I don't know what it means, but anyway, he's going to be showing you all this. But as you know, I'm absolutely diabolical at all like this. I mean, I were never particularly any good at building stuff, but once my fingers went, it's just everything. I drop everything, don't I? So I don't even bother with it anymore. But Liam, on the other hand, Liam is our expert. Because don't forget, Liam is the shop manager. I'm just a dog's body, really. Who else needs doing? But he's your main man now for your mods and stuff. So if there's anything you need to know about any of this kind of stuff, he's your man. And we're open. He's here all during the week. So if you need to ring him, you can do. 01977 797 is the shop number. But give him time to answer because he's on his own line. But yeah, he's going to show you this in a second. I'll drop that in, and that's what the product is. We've got loads of different versions of these things. These things are primarily for the billet box and SXK billet box cloney type things. You can also use them, I think, in the Bantam. I think you can use this in Bantam. I think it's the same size, it's just a smaller box. It uses a little tiny battery. I might be wrong on that because, like I said, I'm no expert. But we've got quite a lot of different things. We've got an awful lot of little accessories and things, for buttons and whatnot, and whistle tips and things for your billets in your SXK. So Liam's your man for that. So I'll be dropping that video in shortly. I'll also give you a little update on them rocks. This is week 5. I'm only doing this little one. It's only a quick video just to show you how they're coming on, basically. And I'm not going to ram it down your throat. But if you're interested in that kind of, in the lapidary side of things that I've suddenly become re-engaged in, if you like, then you'll be interested in that, in the other videos that I'm putting up, like the rock saw I did yesterday. It's actually a tail saw, but I'm using it for cutting rocks up to expose the inside, so you can see what I like inside. Did a video on that yesterday. Absolutely smashing, and I absolutely got pissed wet through. Right, you've got, if for nothing else, if you're not interested in the saw, just go and have a look at me getting pissed wet through with this saw throwing water at me. Absolutely loved it. It was great. Comments, put this up here. Oh, it turns the mic down now. That's not fair. I didn't even know you could do that. Mine were talking to me last night when we were watching telly. There were a film on, and we got it a bit loud, and all of a sudden she says, "I don't understand." You can just about hear her. Anyway, what I'm going to do, I'll get you this little video in first. Anybody wants to put down here the first one that says, "Do you want the rock video or do you want the Hakuseta one?" Tell me which one you'd fancy. I keep asking people to tell me what to talk about on these videos, but I'm not getting a right lot of response. You know, which is a bit disheartening from my perspective, because, you know, I've basically got to sit here and talk about what I want to talk about, which is not necessarily what you want to listen to. So you got to help me out with this and tell me what you want me to do. I can't do your mods and stuff like that. Liam is the man that's going to be doing that, really. It's just, you know, trying to encourage him to do it, because he doesn't really like doing it. I think he's only been on these lives once, and I would like to get him a bit more involved, because people do want to talk to him. People want to talk to him on this thing, so it'd be nice for him to come on. Nice to be able to speak to the customers as well. But he's having a weekend away this weekend with Mrs. They're having a good time. I don't know where they've gone. Anyone, Les? Anyone? Right, let's have a look. Whichever one first. So, share screen. Applicator Chrome tab. I'm going to put Liam on first. So this is Liam. Oh, share audio. I need that. Share audio. Share. Let me know if you can hear it.
Right, fast little wicking tutorial for the Hakuseta IBA. For the billet box. Right, it's got a 510 thread at the bottom. So you can screw it to an
Can you hear it?
So, screw it to a mod. I've already got my coil in there. It's a 2.5mm alien pouring. Meter drums. Yeah. When you've got it burning nice and even.
Can you hear it now? Is that any better?
Make sure it's cool. Cotton bacon prime. That's all I use. Don't buy any of the fancy shit. It's not worth it. Tear enough off that it looks like enough. There's no technique really for this, just eyeball it. Tighten it at one end like you would. Just roll it. 3 coil. See, that's too tight. Just remove a bit. Perfect. Just want a slight bit of resistance. Not too much. Not too little. Just fluff out the ends a little bit. Just trim this off to make it easier. Get your cap, just like that. Put it on, make sure there's no cotton stuck or trapped underneath the cap. that. Give it a fluff. Fluff it all out. Just like that. Then trim it about 10mm away from the cup. Just like that. Like that. Then fluff it out a tiny bit more. Just make sure it covers all the holes. Just 2 wicket holes on either side. Make sure it covers both of them. And what some people like to do, and I like to do, is just poke it a little bit in the centre. Compact it a little bit more. Neaten it up a little bit. Just like that. Should look like that. Pretty much. Get your juice. These are the new bottles we'll be getting soon. Bit of juice on it, prime it, fire it. Prime it, fire it. Like that. If you're getting short circuit when you fire it with your cap on, it's because you haven't trimmed your leads far enough. Because there's only a small gap between the cap and the base, so it needs to be trimmed quite fine. There we go. It's fine. Put your chimney, your top piece, into your burrow first. Unscrew your base. Plop it in the bottom. Push that down, make sure it's centered. Maybe lube your O-rings first, don't be an idiot like me. Just make sure it's pushed down all the way. So it's in like that. The Zeta's stiffer than most RBAs to get into the burrow, but yeah, it fits. I've got the chimney insert in the top. So once you've done that, slide your glass on like so. Pop some juice in. This is 70-30. I'll probably handle 80-20, 85-15. I'll probably handle it. I don't know about with a 3mm, but give it a try. If it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. Filled up. Take your billet box. Take your 510 nut out. Like so. Now you've got that out, make sure there's no condensation, you don't need to run onto your board. Get a little wipe. Then what I like to do, especially with these tanks, is hold onto the top of the tank and just push the 510 pin up slightly. That way the 510 pin will make the contact, it'll push it down. So take your 510 nut, screw it on. Don't over tighten it. Snug it up. Should we do at 0.55, 30 watts. Firing away. Put your panel back on. If you're looking to get a billet, it's probably the easiest RBA you're going to find. There's nothing you can really do wrong with it. That's pretty much it.
Well, there you go. All things considered, I think he did really rather well there for the first time he's done that. Thank you for that, Liam. As you can see, that's how you put the thing together. It's straightforward if you follow them instructions. He had a bit of difficulty with getting it all on camera because it's the first time he's used it, and it is if you've never tried it, it's very difficult to be focusing on what you're actually doing and focusing on the fact that your fingers are actually in the shot. Do you know what I mean? It's very difficult to do that. But I'm going to get him to use the proper camera next time, so that because it's got a little screen that you flip around and you can see what you're doing in the screen. Do you know what I mean? That will assist. So anyway, that was fantastic. Hopefully we get one off Liam every week to drop in here. That would be nice, wouldn't it? A different gadget bit. So that it's very similar to the Exocet. Might be the Exocet. I don't know. That's what he said it was. Is that what did he say? Exocet at the beginning? We've got all sorts of them anyway. And we also have the actual SXK boxes as well. The billets, if you like. Vote us up if you want some more Liams, some more Liam videos. We've got our Foxy here.
Yo, morning. You're right.
Why I? Oh, just stretching my carcass.
Excuse me. Hello, everybody in chat as well. What were you doing? It's like this is my billet box. So if you build this, you can.
We've got some lovely photos of his wrists.
It's hard. It's
saying. It's very difficult when you've only got the one screen pointing at you on camera to be focusing on the job that you're doing and then remembering that that's got to be in screen.
Yeah.
Because you can't focus until Brie uses his phone.
Yeah.
To record it, and that's been such a freaking nightmare because he's got an iPhone. Well, you can't Bluetooth it because Bluetooth's not really Bluetooth.
Yeah.
You can't connect it to computer because it won't do it that way. You've got to start downloading programs. So he ended up having to Dropbox me the video clip that I did.
Okay.
Put it on my PC just have a look at it. You need to download this codec to view this, and it's going to cost you $13 and something. I thought, well, we're all right here. So I went Googling to find out how to convert a MOV, into an MP4.
Yeah.
And apparently you can, if you open the MOV file in Windows Photos, you can then export it as an MP4.
Right.
Produce a video. So that's what that was here. Matt, did it look a little bit jumpy?
No, it was all right. I thought it wasn't bad.
On my end, it seemed to be skipping a couple of frames.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, but it didn't interfere with it. But it was like an old-fashioned film, wasn't it?
Yeah.
More like that.
Yeah.
But it still worked. That's the important thing.
I've got a Mac if you want me to drop that off, so you can use that to use it if possible. If that'll help, because I know Apple products don't like communicating with Windows, do they, at all?
They don't know.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, that's a strange thing when it's got Bluetooth, but it's not actually Bluetooth, is it? I don't understand that. You know, Disha, India, long way off.
It's legit, isn't it?
Nice and safe over there. That's be one of my orchid visitors, I would imagine.
Okay.
But you've got some nice plants out at the minute.
I don't.
I'm going to show you some more rocks now, John.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah. I'll mute myself so I'm not making noise.
No, you'll be all right. I think it takes over, but I don't really know, to be honest.
No, it doesn't. You can hear both.
Can you?
Oh, yeah, you'll hear me going.
Oh, so you've heard me farting then.
I didn't.
Tonight, what dripping tap? I'll put this rock on and get him over with.
No worries.
Chrome tab. And I think it's that one. Do that. And do that. Press play.
Hi guys, it's Les here in West Yorkshire over at the Rock Room inside Juice Cabin. It's just a quick look this week. This is for the drop-in video at lunchtime. This is just a quick look at those rocks that we've had on now for 5 weeks. Now last week what I did, I combined the ones that were in here with some filler material, took the filler material out, and I got the rocks out of the second small barrel and I put them in here. So we've got all of the rocks in here now. So these have been on for 5 weeks, except a few that I've been putting in, you know, just to make it up. So we're going to have a look at these now. I don't think they're going to be ready. There might be some ready. What I've actually done in this other barrel, remember I had a glass of rocks that were almost finished. Well, they're now in here. That's what's in this one. So they're now on 600 grit. But I'm not going to bother looking at them yet because they're going to be no visibly different than they were last week, really. I'm going to keep them on 600. They should have been on 220, but I hadn't got any 220, so I'm getting twice as long on that. So anyway, these are the ones that we've had on for a month. Well, now it's 5 weeks now, isn't it? So let's have a little look at these. Well, that's the chocolate we've got. Can you see that? It's like chocolate. So let's just have a look. It's the rocks. They don't look very exciting, do they, at the minute? We're covered in that chocolate. Let's have a look. Woo! Look at the lovely banding in that. That's that one with the fibres in it, is it? They look like shatters, but they're not. They're actually like embedded fiberglass fibres. Whoa, look at that. Piece of tiger's eye. Look at that. So that's clearly a softer material because this is one of the pieces that I put in last week, isn't it? What a beautiful shimmer that's got. You see, as they're drying, they go matte. You see how they're going matte? It's because they're not polished yet. They're smoother, but they're not polished. That's a lovely material. Looks like toffee. That's the stuff with the little fossils in it. Another one of them lovely agates. So they've still got a bit to go. There's some ready like that one. No, I speak too soon. You see there? Look, it's got a little fracture. So, I mean, they do take a long time to do. However, the end result is worth it. Sound like glass, don't they? I think it's that one. Lovely colours in there, haven't they? Got another few weeks to go yet though, before they're ready. Now I'm not going to show you the ones. Just move that down a bit. I'm not going to show you the ones in the other barrel because they will be the same because they've been on fine grit, so they've actually changed very little. So I'm not going to bother with that. I'll do that in the next week's video. I'll just show you this again a bit more tiger's eye. Look at that. That's weird, isn't it? Beautiful, but weird. What else we got here? Anything exciting? Oh, that's smoky quartz, because that's got like chevrons in it. Yeah. Absolutely lovely stuff. Right, well, so that's his pebbles that you've just looked at now. Now, they've been on for 5 weeks, so I reckon they've got at least another couple of weeks to go before they're ready to move on to the next grit. And we want them pretty much as smooth as possible to move on to the next grid, and then it just wears it down from there, ever increasingly smaller particles, i.e. ever increasingly smoother until eventually it gets shiny. So that's all I'm going to show you this week. It's been nice and quick, but Liam's done a video and we're going to be showing you that very shortly. In the meantime, join me next week where I'll be showing you some more of this rock tumbling. I'll be setting up some more rocks. Unfortunately, the tumbler that I've got on order is been delayed. Evans, the manufacturers, it's not Evans, it's Kimberley's Road, but the Evans tumbler are out of stock and they've had difficulties manufacturing it because of the backlash of the virus and people have been off and whatnot. So that's going to be at least another couple of weeks. We can't do a review on that. I did that review on the tile saw, which is absolutely superb. We cut some pebbles and things in half and some slices of some other pebbles, that's exposing that surface. Beautiful stuff. So anyway, we've got that. And this timber that you're looking at here, this is actually, I think I might have borrowed a bit much, right? This is actually intended to form the internal frame of one of these cupboards for my rock tumbler. You know, the one I'm building. I think I might have ordered enough to build another, Sistine Chapel or something or other again. But anyway, this is going inside for the structure so that we can have the bearings fixed to it, you know, for the shaft. That's a bearing for my shaft. So this will effectively be on side of that, you know, it's inside of that, like that, with the shaft coming out on the other end and then motors at that end as well. So that's what all this timber here is for. I haven't yet decided whether I'm going to do like that on the face or whether I'm going to use a pillar block, here somewhere, or like these look, like them, on top, and they go on top like that rather than like that. So I haven't decided which set of them to use yet. But anyway, it's going to be good fun. So I don't know how long that's going to take together, but all the thing I'm waiting for now is one single pulley, and it's the one that attaches to the motor itself. It's got a little key in it, a shaft key. So I've had to order that special. So as soon as that comes, I've then got all of the components to at least start to put it together. You know what I mean? I'll start to consider where things are going and that kind of thing. It's going to be good fun, I promise you. Anyway, that's it. Back to the main video, and I'll see you later.
Good. Look at them rocks. I was geeking out a bit then when they were looking at them.
This is another drop-in video at lunchtime. Just a quick look at those rocks that we've had on now.
Got some feedback.
Turn your sound down.
The ones that were in here with some filler material.
Oh, is the video still playing?
The second small barrel I put them in here, so we've got all the rocks in here.
Shut up, Les. It just goes on and on and on.
No, you got some point though. It's the main thing. Yeah, if you're going to put them the bearings on that wood, bolt them.
Yeah, that's
things,
what
bolt them to hell and back.
I've actually got one to take on to measure the bolt holes. But I don't know whether I'm going for top pillar mount or for side. Do you know what I mean? I think I might use side ones for first two, but for bottom I'll use top one because it lifts it up at floor a bit. Perhaps. That's the plan anyway. I haven't drawn it down yet, but I can see it in my head. But then there's quite a difference between sitting in your head and it coming out.
Mate, I've got loads and loads of stuff in my head, but it never comes out ever.
It's like when you're taking photos. You see this gorgeous vista. And you think, oh, I've got to take a photo of that. When you get home, it's absolutely shite because it's just not capable of catching that, that vista. So many of them.
You have to have a £100,000 lens, don't you, just to capture it and stuff like that. That's
the right time. Yeah, you got to take a lot of photos. I used to take a hell of a lot of photos when we used film. And I always said that if I got one photo out of the 36 roll of film that I was satisfied with, I was happy at that.
Yeah.
Whereas most people want
Yeah.
36 photos. But I'm only looking for
Yeah.
the one photo that's worth keeping. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes I
Yeah.
take a roll and I didn't
Yeah.
really like any
Yeah.
of them, so they were all crap. I've done absolute, because I used to process it
Yeah.
all myself, so it didn't cost me as much. So I could rattle them out
Yeah.
like. But as soon as it became digital,
Yeah.
well, whew, I mean, everything, you take 4 of it, don't you? It all goes it's off
Yeah.
to Google, so
Yeah.
it's all my photos are there from
Yeah.
19 bloody naught blob. You know what I mean? Because they've all uploaded. I
Yeah.
think that's really good, and it's free as well, isn't it? That Google. Yeah, that
Yeah.
that is pretty good,
Yeah.
like, isn't it?
Yeah. If it were Apple, you'd have to pay
Yeah.
for it.
I really don't understand why they've made them phones so incompatible with everything.
Because they want to be a pain in the ass. They've always been that way. If you want to update your phone or anything like that, if you put iTunes on a Windows-based PC, it just crashes every time.
Yeah.
Not so bad if you've got higher end, with gaming PCs and stuff, but anything else, it just crashes all the time.
I
So
mean,
that's why I bought a Mac.
from practical terms, if I were going to market for a new phone, I mean, I've had my phone for donkeys. When
Yeah.
it just came out, I mean, it's Christ knows what it is. But
Yeah.
if I were to market for a new phone, there ain't no way on earth that I would go for an Apple if you can't
No.
connect it to your phone, to your computer, when your computer is your frigging life. Isn't it? It's like having
I
a
think-
wall in between the two.
I think there is ways, but I think you just have to
Shouldn't have to.
I mess about and stuff. I don't know.
You shouldn't have to jump through hoops, though, should you? To do it's a pretty basic thing, like, isn't it? Connect it to your.
I never connect mine to a computer ever. I
No.
just don't bother. No. 'Cause
You see, I
just need-
Bluetooth stuff across to my PC all the time, backwards and forwards.
Yeah.
It's easy to bring something to work on phone.
Yeah.
A file or something if you haven't got your card with you.
Yeah, Carl pretty much answered it.
that's what it is. So that's
I
what
gotta say-
what's an orange?
I'm an Apple fanboy, so I just prefer it because it works
Yeah.
for me personally. But
You're Apple then.
yeah, not fully. I mean, just
Yeah.
phone and watch, but I don't bother with it. Never connects to the computer. If it breaks, it just breaks.
Does
just
it
do it.
connect to Mac computer though?
Yeah. Works with Mac flawlessly.
So really, that's what it is then, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
a phone that goes with their laptop. So when you
Yeah.
buy into that Macintosh thing,
Yeah.
you're actually buying into the whole range of package, whatever it
Yeah.
is that they sell, because it's all going to be compatible with itself.
Yeah.
It's a bit isolated, that, like, isn't it?
Yeah, you can connect it straight up in a Mac. It comes with some movie maker or
Yeah.
something, so you can put all your stuff on there. You can drop and drag and everything and edit your stuff. So it's a bit easier that way. But yeah, they definitely tied themselves in with that. Definitely.
Imagine they've made plenty of coin at it, so there must have been.
They're worth more than US government. How does that work?
Well, they have spent a lot recently, haven't they?
Mm.
I mean,
Yeah, a lot.
it's proper ridden over there with this frigging COVID, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really ridden with it.
Right, and when it comes, it's only just going to sort of like hit back again, isn't it?
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah. And when it started to come back in now, isn't it?
Yeah.
It started to rise again.
Yeah, I think Leeds is doing all right though. Leeds haven't had a report of death in over a month, so I think it's pretty good for Leeds, to be honest.
Yeah, but if it hadn't had it for a month, that's from the previous month,
Yeah,
isn't it?
Yeah.
But what we're going to be start getting now, and what's coming up now, is the people when they did the undo lockdown bit.
Mhm.
That's the rush of people. And we were saying so at the time, weren't we? That's the rush of people that are now 3 or 4 weeks later going to be showing symptoms.
Yeah.
And that's why it's now going up, which is what really, there's no else you can do, is there? There's no you can do. It's awful. And when we're full of hope here at shop.
I have to buy a hazmat suit.
We've got hazmat suits.
No, I just walk around like this all day in a hazmat suit.
Oh, it was good.
Yeah.
Like that. Fly busting.
Yeah.
Carl hates Apple. Prefers.
Yeah, a lot of people do. I don't like Android because I've had no but problems with it.
You don't like Android?
I fix stuff for a living at work, don't I? So to come home and having to fix stuff on my phone, it just does me head in. So I went back to Apple. I don't have any problems. See, if an Apple breaks, it breaks, and that's it. There's no in between. That's what I found anyway. Maybe it's just me. I'm just lazy. Last thing I want to be doing. But I lost iTunes and my phone would connect to the car, and then I had to download an app for it to connect to the car so it keep the signal permanent on that. And different stuff. I using Spotify, and I just had more problems than I did. I'd be driving down the road and it wouldn't connect, so I'd have to pull over, turn engine off, connect phone to the car so I could listen to music. I just had enough. And then I didn't realise, but you can actually plug in your phone card via USB. So I sold up and went back to Apple.
So you didn't know how to use technology then, really?
No, I'm getting old. I'm just past it. Do you know what I mean?
You know, you're screwed when remote controls get beyond you. Once the remote control gets beyond you, you've had it.
Yeah, they're getting smaller with more buttons now, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
We had to retune some tellies at work other day, and I must have spent 10 minutes trying to figure it out. And I was just like, what's up with me? Am I getting old or something? I used to be really good at this stuff.
I can remember my mum's first remote control. I think she's probably still got it, and it was like about this big.
Yeah.
But it was the same shape as a phaser on Star Trek. And at the front of it, it had a mesh grill, just like the one on Star Trek.
Yeah.
And it worked on sound.
Right.
And when you did this, you could actually hear the frigging thing. You pointed to tell it, and it was, you know, like just like something off Star Trek.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
Back with it.
Yeah. But it's better than to get up to turn it off with pushing a button, isn't it?
Yeah. You
Turn it off. I can't be bothered.
3-4 channels back then.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Channel 4. When did Channel 4 come out? That was in 80s. 90s?
I don't know. I can remember Channel 5 coming in because I was about that age when you can remember stuff. But I can't remember Channel 4.
I think it was 80s or 90s Channel 4 coming.
Yeah. Aye, times were all simple back then. There's too much now. You're in lockdown now, for instance, and you sat at home and you don't know what to watch because you've just got that many bloody things.
It's true. We've got Sky and we've got Netflix and we've got all them usual things, and you go flick, 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 and get pains in your thumb flicking that much because there's that many channels, and then you say, "Oh, there's no on." Yeah. No on. You've just gone through 400 channels.
I know.
There's never seems to be no one that you want to watch, does there?
No, it's very hard to settle down, isn't it? Because you start one TV series and you think, oh, I ain't watched that for a while. I'll catch up on that, and then before you know it, you're back and forth with everything, and you're just like, nah, it's too much.
Yeah, it's better if you use it when they're in box sets because you can watch a full series like that.
Yeah.
We're just watching one on Netflix at the minute. What's it called now? It's got Scully in it, Gillian Anderson.
Sex Education, is it? Oh, bad.
No, it's not a new thing. Apparently, it's 2016. Let me log into Netflix. Let me log into Netflix. It's Gillian Anderson, and we're on series, I think, 3 now.
Okay.
And it's a bit like Prime Suspect.
All right.
In a way, she's the Bobby, like, and she's the chief Bobby. It's called The Fall.
All right. Might have that. I might have to look at it.
Yeah, if you have a look at The Fall, we're on to series 3 now, episode 1. It's been really, really good. But yeah, it's as good as that Prime Suspect.
Yeah.
It's as good as that, but Scully, you know, I said Scully, Gillian Anderson. She looks, I mean, she don't look any different than she did in X-Files.
Looks same.
I think she's been pickled. That can't be her, must be a daughter or something, because she's identical to what she was. Honestly, you want to go and have a look at it. She looks fabulous. Yeah, she really does.
Yeah. I've been watching that Stranger Things, but you can watch it down at my mate's house. You can only watch 2 or 3 episodes and then your brain's just like,
the mum likes that, but I got sick after the first one because it's just like, do you know, like they met these series and it's very successful, and then they start doing, you know, another run of it, and it gets weaker and weaker and weaker, further and further away from what it was.
I
think it went like that. It was always an episode, first series, and then second, it just went. Well, let's make some more, quick.
Yeah, they just brought a bigger monster back, haven't they? And it's like
it's the same thing. I'll tell you what, we haven't had for a long time. We haven't had any proper, scary Wolfman films. or The Mummy. When you see The Mummy, you see get this. They're always a little bit comical in them, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know, like the recent mummies and stuff.
Yeah.
Like with Tom Cruise and the last one, that were a bit more serious, but even that were funny, like.
Yeah.
But when you watch the old ones, because I've got the old ones on my videos, like 1937 and stuff like that, they're scary.
Yeah.
There's not funny about them, they're scary.
Yeah.
So we haven't had one of them for a long time, a proper mummy or a proper Wolfman film that's been scary without having chuckles in it. That I'd like to see.
There's TV series, but they're kind of like the half wolf, half vampire, half something. And
yeah, that's like
that.
No, just a straightforward remake of a 1930s Wolfman film.
Yeah, they could do it.
They actually did one with that Spanish bloke, Tarantino or something like.
Oh, Quentin Tarantino.
No, that's the director.
Oh,
come on, people! There's a Spaniard and he did the Wolfman.
I'll Google it now.
And other bloke that were in it were him. What's his name?
This is actually just brought up actual Wolfman.
Anthony Hopkins. Anthony Hopkins. He's the dad.
Yeah.
That's the last one that were kind of scary, but it were good, but it weren't scary. It were more suspenseful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I want to see gore. I want to see throats torn out. You know what I mean? Proper, up-to-date, scary fucking Wolfman.
I think if
I'll
speak to my mate later because he's into all that. There might be some half-decent films out that you've not heard of.
Dracula. A proper Dracula film.
Yeah, he's into all that. He loves it. I'm not a massive fan of it. I'm more into, I don't know, drugs, to be honest, the drugs world.
You like drugs?
No, not to take.
I just love drugs.
No, I love the conspiracies between the government and all the how it works from the top to the bottom. There's one on at minute, a bit of a Netflix series about the making of drugs, and it's talking about the different aspects. It's talking about the legalization of cannabis in the US at the minute, and the government's made it that hard to get your licenses for it. It's just you're better on black market than you are doing it legit. So it doesn't make any sense.
It's the same as that. It's the same as this vaping, like, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
The government want you to stop smoking, but they'll make vaping as hard as possible.
Yeah.
For the manufacturers and stuff like that. You know, just make it. They don't stop you from doing it. Just make it very difficult to do it.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
There's some well dodgy stuff going off for that in states. I mean, remember Joel had a massive thing and that they pulled it and it weren't allowed. They've had the PMTA passed now, so they'll be selling Joel again after September. Yeah. So it just shows you doing it. All these backhanders and stuff like that come from big tobacco.
Yeah, because they sell really strong nicotine, don't they?
Yeah.
In them, is it like 50, 60 milligrams?
Yeah, 50 milligram Nick salts. Yeah, I think they've curbed it down though. I think they're going to around 20 milligrams, something like that.
But they banned all the minty flavors and stuff, didn't they?
Yeah, menthol and mint. Yeah. Well, no, all allowed is tobacco. I think tobacco and menthol now. Yeah. Flavors.
It's funny, isn't it, that menthol is the one that you're allowed over there. Number 8, it's been banned.
I know.
It's weird, isn't it?
They banned menthol cigarettes, but the only flavourings you're allowed in e-liquid is tobacco. I think it's either tobacco and menthol, just tobacco. It's
I know
because there's going to be a lot of releases soon from all Chinese companies to flood the US market. Because September, I think 9th, the pre-market tobacco application starts, and that's where you have to pay millions and millions of dollars to put through.
That's why it's not worth it. Yeah, it's not worth us even though that market is our market, if you like, because they're more into tobaccos than UK. We're into more flavours and things. They're more into tobaccos as well.
Yeah,
but it's just not practical to get yourself over there. Because I've had an email from a local company that does this testing and that, and it's around about £110,000 per flavour per SKU.
What for US market?
Or it actually comes in 3 tiers. There's one lot of tier testing, then there's another set of tests, and then there's another. It's in 3 batches, and you've got to pass all 3 batches, and it's broke down into it's like 30 odd grand for first bit and 22 for second, and all this kind of thing. But it works out between 90 and £110,000 per SKU right, of your stuff. And when it's done all that, it's not guaranteed that it's going to be allowed.
Yeah.
Because all of this testing and stuff, it's not guaranteed. Even if it passes, it's not guaranteed to get through.
Yeah.
They might, change his mind.
Yeah.
So it's just not practical unless you're a really, really rich company like the big ones. They'll be able to afford it.
Yeah.
But people like us, we've got no chance. I just hope that it doesn't spread from Europe where the banning. Well, everything, aren't they? It's pretty much everything.
Yeah, I think Germany's put some sanctions in. There's a few of them.
Germany,
yeah, there's a few. I think the Danish, Holland that way. I think they were banning some flavour ban or something. There's bits and bats going on.
Yeah, it's going to be a nightmare. Hopefully that don't come here.
I doubt it won't.
Me and Liam were on about it, and he reckons that it's probably not going to come here because we are pretty open with vaping, aren't we?
Yeah.
Our government is in favour, but it doesn't actually encourage vaping.
Yeah.
I think that would be a way to, because I've never seen anyone on telly from government that says switch to vaping.
They do. When Stop Smoking Week came about March, there were loads of ads from that. You know, the doctor that does all the plastic surgery nightmares and stuff like that. Can't remember his name. He did quite a lot. There were loads of people pushing it out, and then all the doctors and stuff like that say switch to vaping.
That's back in March. No, there ought to be something on telly on a regular basis. It ought to be all time, like baked bean adverts. It ought to be all time, so it's drilled into people. Don't start smoking.
Didn't they stop you from advertising though for a little while, and then they relaxed it again?
Well, I don't know if you're allowed to advertise it still. I don't think I've seen a vape advert on telly for a long time.
I mean, either.
No, so I think if that were available, that would be there. But the government ought to be pushing it, not just letting it float past, which is what's happening, isn't it? They're not actively getting an advert on telly pretty much every day at coronation time for kids that's growing up to see it, and it'd be automatic in their head.
Yeah.
Not to start smoking. Yeah. I want to smoke. No, I want to vape.
Yeah.
It's probably better not to do either, but
totally.
Vaping's better than smoking. So there's but I think the government should be encouraging it rather than just allowing it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't see any government encouragement. They'll tell you that when you say, "Oh, well, Public Health England, this, that, and so on," but they're not on telly saying, "Oh, you must do it." But you get plenty of adverts for, can you spare a fiver? Can you spare 20? That's now up to us all one. Can you spare £20 a month? Just send £20 a month to feed a fucking leopard. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? By the time you had all this up, you might as well get a mortgage, don't you?
Yeah. Or £1 a week to supply a whole village with water for a month, and you're like, hang on a minute, how much do I pay for my water?
Yeah, there's an awful lot of them on telly at the minute, and I've noticed that they've all gone up and all. It's no longer £1 or £2, it's now 5, 10, and 20.
I've been I watched normal TV for a long time. I just don't bother. It's just either YouTube or Netflix, whatever else. So it's just easy.
We watch a lot of Netflix and stuff.
Has PPI stuff disappeared yet?
What you mean, the phone calls and that?
Well, phone calls and adverts.
I haven't had a PPI for a long time.
Yeah, I think they stopped it.
I think it were a right rip-off. I bet there's been a lot of that.
Carl said if you Google the population to the amount of cases in the US, it's not that bad.
Yeah, I think that's because there's a lot of people.
Yeah,
but it's a percentage, but it's still a lot of people. Were it 100,000 that were dead in the last week?
I can bring stats up. What is it now? World odometer, I think.
Oh, Blue Rock.
That's me. Let's look at that. USA has got 5 million cases and total deaths is 171,000.
171,000, and we've had about 50,000, haven't we?
We're 41,358. I'd still question that though.
Yeah, they've had roughly 4 times as many deaths. But there's a lot more people there. That's what they're
not investigating though the deaths. They're kind of like not doing post-mortem, not doing anything. It's just like oh yeah, it's COVID, and then sign it off, and then it's gone again.
But that happens here because we've just had one of my friends, his brother's just died, and he had a heart attack while he was there, kind of thing. They're reviving him on film, and they put his death down as COVID. It's got nothing to do with COVID.
You see, this is what gets me as well. Like India, you'd expect cases rampant and stuff like that. They've got 2.5 million to 50,000 deaths. Yeah. And you look at the stats of the US. This is why I say the stats just do not weigh up.
I think all the governments measure them different. They all count them. It's like now, last week, the kids said on news that, we've not had as many deaths as we thought because we've got a new way of counting them. Well, that's not a new way of counting them, don't make them less.
Yeah.
Does it? No. It just means that you're manipulating numbers to make it sound less, but you're categorizing some people in a different category so you can say they're NRM.
Yeah.
It's just bullshit.
The German stats make more sense to me. 223,000 people infected and 9,289 passed away. That makes more sense to me. That's more understandable.
About 5%. About 5%.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And what is it with American?
171 to 5.5 million, more or less. 171,000 to 5.5 million.
More than 5.5 million people in America.
No, same cases.
Oh.
It's plus the testing as well. So anybody that's been tested at the minute for the antibodies, if they've had it, that's going into the cases as well. So that'll throw it out slightly.
Yeah, that's everybody's marking it down different, so they'll never get to the bottom on it, really.
Yeah, there is going to be. There's 500 testing that's going across UK soon. Yeah,
at the end of the day, if they haven't got a vaccine for it, we're all going to end up getting it, and you're either going to survive or you ain't, and that's it. That's the top and bottom of it.
But I'm questioning the vaccine. What are they pushing? Do you know what I mean? It doesn't make sense.
Look at these Russians. The Russians have released a vaccine, and they've not tested. Well, they've tested it on 100 people. Well, that's not a test. That 100 people is not a test. So, but they've released it now, apparently.
Yeah.
But the trouble is, if it's wrong, what they've done, it can start splicing with other fucking viruses and create Frankenstein's monster. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's not just a matter of, it don't work. It might do something opposite to what you're actually intended and create another virus, a hybrid kind of a chimera virus, which spreads around and kills every frigga. You just don't know. That's the trouble with these viruses messing with nature. 368 million.
Just gonna look now.
Well, according to that would be 18 million then, wouldn't it?
Yeah, 328 million.
18 million is 5%, and they've had how many deaths?
Which one, sorry?
America.
171,568.
So that's less percent.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Than ours. But having said that, again, America is a wide open place, isn't it? It's not, there's only congested cities like New York and Chicago. Everything else is quite spread out, isn't it? Places like Montana and all that, you're few and far between houses.
Yeah. The more land to.
Yeah. You've also got the thing that in America, if you get poorly, you have to pay.
Yeah.
So a lot of people won't go to hospital because they ain't got the money to pay.
No, it's free. I think it's free if you're in some sort of horrific accident, they will revive you and bring you around for so much, and then after that, any operations you have to pay for and all sorts of shit. It's crazy. Yeah.
I've seen one bloke that's come out who's been in a coma kind of thing because of this virus for the last couple of months. He's come out, he's saved his life and that, and got home and he got £1 million bill. And then immediately threw himself under a bus.
I bet he did.
I mean, that's the trouble, isn't it? You're screwed, aren't you, either way? Yeah. I mean, I'd rather be fucking dead.
That's not.
It is not. But this is what it's like in America, isn't it? We pay as we go, don't we? It's not free NHS. We pay for it as we go.
Yeah, but the NHS,
it's only free when you actually go get it.
Yeah,
but only because you paid for it in advance, kind of thing.
I think the thing that makes you laugh though is that everybody were clapping for the NHS and stuff, and then the people that work for the NHS were like, after a while, they were seeing it as I mean, obviously there's different stories and everything, but the majority of wards were dead, and there were just people like this, because they had no COVID cases. They went absolutely crazy, closed every ward down, turned X amount into COVID wards, ready for it, and nothing happened.
No.
Yeah. So. And then there's the other part as well that people don't get to hear about is the NHS spend millions and millions of pounds every year to stop the press getting any bad story about them because the amount of fuck-ups they make.
Yeah.
We've got a guy who he's our authorising engineer, and he worked for the NHS just for short of 20 years. And some of the stories he's told me, it's unbelievable. So, but it's like everything, in it. There's good and bad in all. So
Yeah, of course.
I'm not against it at all. I think it's nice. I don't know what to think anymore. I really don't.
I think the only thing with the NHS now at the minute, and it's been the same for a few years, but it's getting worse, is that when you go for any treatment, they always start on the cheapest treatment first.
Yeah.
They don't go to the one that they know works. They go to the cheapest one to see if that works first. That's the default. So for me, for example, even though I can't walk around very much, as you know, you've seen me, haven't you?
Yeah.
I hobble around after about a hobble.
You don't, you float.
Do you know what they've told me?
Like that.
Yeah, well,
So
I am creeping Jesus as well. But I can't walk very far because of whatever condition it is that I've got. Do you know what they've suggested as the treatment?
Go on.
I've got to wear compression stockings. Right? That is a treatment. I've got to wear compression stockings. If they think I'm walking around here with a pair of white stockings on like they do in America with long shorts, there's another thing coming. Because it just ain't happening. That for me is not treatment. That is not what I've paid me NHS money for all these umpteen billion years.
Yeah.
I've paid it for proper treatment.
Yeah.
But that's what they do now. Because the budget is so stretched, they have to go for the cheapest. And if that don't work, they'll move up to the next cheapest and so on. It's not until you've gone through probably 2 years worth of testing and all these other crap that you get to the one that actually works, but it's 5 times as much as the cheapest.
Yeah, that's correct.
It's because they've had to budget it. So they do it by the cheapest. But unfortunately, people who need help don't get it because you've got to go through the process of having the bastard stockings on, and then you've got to go through a next set of cheap pills. And you've got to go through that process.
But the GPs make a fortune off you yearly just because they've got you on your books with your issues or your ailments. Sorry, they get X amount off the government in order to support you, and they only use a percentage of that to support you. Yeah. So I don't think it's always about. I think it's more the more you moan, the more you get. Do you know what I mean? Type thing.
Yes, definitely. The more you moan, the more you get.
It's awful.
You've got to be a repeat moaner. Yeah. You've almost got to have an appointment every week.
Yeah.
So that I mean, I've got a friend that goes all the time. You know, they've got a seat there.
Yeah.
But they get the services that they want because the doctors know that they're not going to give in. Whereas I'll go down and just accept what they say.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't be like that these days, unfortunately. It might have been like that in the past, but it's not like that now. If you don't push, you don't get.
That's correct.
Because there's somebody else pushing faster.
I did my knee in about 12, 13 years ago, and I had gristle. So every time I straighten my leg up, it gets stuck between my kneecap, and it ended up like fracturing my patella off in bits.
Yeah.
So I went to see GP, and GP says, "Oh yeah, you need to go to physio because physio needs to triage you." Then they'll say, "Do you think I'm looking at 6 months or something like that before I get an operation?" I could barely walk. I was struggling as it is. So my mum just took me down to A&E, and she just spoke to one of the doctors, and they put me through. And next day I were in fractures clinic, and then in about just short of a month I were in the knife for an operation to get rid of it all and sort it out. So it just to show you, doesn't it, which avenue you go and stuff like that. So
it does. It's a bit random, isn't it?
Yeah.
Apparently, it's equally as random. There's another bit of randomness depending on where you live.
Yeah.
What postcodes you are. That adds another element of randomness to it.
One of the things that has upset me though, it's taken a long time for the doctors to get on board with all the technology. Like this is you know, you can video call, you can do everything. You know, people can look at you, and most ailments can be sorted out over the phone. So why don't they do it? You know, and then free up the time for the doctors one-on-one for patients like yourselves and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, I've not been able to get to see my doctor because he's in isolation as well. So we've been doing telephone calls, and my nurse, though I saw previous month, happens to be his wife, and she took photos for me, and she's had to show him them because they haven't got video facilities. But like you said, if you had video facilities, it's almost as good as being face to face, isn't it? Because people's facial expressions is part of the communication, isn't it? And if you can't see the bloody face, you're not getting a full message. You're only getting the words, not the message. So they could do that as a minimum, and like you say, it's on every bleeding phone market, isn't it? So it's not even going to cost them, though. But they could have a nice setup at their end that makes it better.
My mate rang 111 because he had a massive boil at the back of his neck, or whichever the non-emergency number is. And he spoke to them, and within about an hour, he had antibiotics waiting for him up at chemist.
Yeah.
What's so hard about that? I just don't understand. They can free up so much of their time with technology, but they just don't use it. And then I think what happens is the government says, "Oh yeah, Pete's got a good system, and Pete will come in and fit it, and he charges them £5 billion," and then it never works. So they need to sort this stuff out.
Yeah, there's no connected, there's no joining up, is there?
No.
No joining up at all. We put them right, haven't we?
Yeah, as Carl says, if the government makes a vaccination compulsory, will you be doing the same as me and tell them to fuck off? Yeah, I will.
Well, why would you not want it, though?
Me?
Yeah.
For me personally, because what do you want to do? Do you want to go down the garden path, or do you want to make a...
Well, do you have a flu jab?
No.
You don't have... We have flu jab every year to stop us from getting flu, because people say, "Oh, I've got flu," but they haven't usually got the flu. When they've got the flu, they know they've got the flu because it can kill you. Yeah. What people get is just like summer colds and mini viruses and stuff like that make you feel rough. Might get shits, might get snotty nose, might get a sore throat, but it ain't the flu. The flu can kill, but people just call it the flu. But you get the flu jab, and that prevents you from getting it. But if you don't have the flu jab, there's a good chance you are going to get it. And if you're in one of these categories, like me or my mum and loads of different people, you're putting yourself right at risk, aren't you?
Yeah, so, but for me on a personal level, I can't be affected by the coronavirus. It's the chance of it killing me is 1,000,000 to 1. So worrying about an immunisation for something that's not even going to affect me, it's pointless.
Well, it's not going to affect you.
Well, because it won't, will it? I think I've already had it anyway at some point if I've heard with right things, but it's just a normal virus, isn't it, for people that are quite healthy-ish, and it doesn't bother you as much, does it?
Yeah, I don't know.
The chances of me dying from the coronavirus are very, very, very slim.
No, I mean, it's made a lot of people very ill.
Yeah, he's right though, Carl. You can't make one in a few months. You know, you see, my problem is, right, is that all the scientists that are coming out are supported by government money, right? And they don't have any freedom of speech. Everything is doctored and put through the government before it's released to the public. And because of that, you'll never have a actual point of view from a person who knows what they're talking about, because it'll be controlled to some way, shape or form. And this is what brings me down to what Carl's exactly saying. You know, how can they bring one out in a couple of months when somebody on TV, a leading epidemiologist that works for the government, says, "Oh, it's going to take years before you can, you know."
Well, it definitely would. If they brought out a vaccine like this year,
it's coming.
I would not necessarily.
September, you'll see one.
I might take it next year, based on results of this year.
I think if you can be affected by it, then by all accounts, get it. But for me, on a personal thing, I don't know. I don't trust.
I mean, what about what we've just been on about in Russia? They've only tested it on 100 people.
Yeah, that's Russia. They don't care. They'll just throw it out, won't they?
Yeah. Yeah, but this is the thing. What can happen, isn't it? You just don't know. I mean, apparently, for every 5 trials or 10 trials that they do, there's only one that works. The chances are, when you do one of these vaccine trials, that it fails. Pretty much all of them fail. Just every now and again, they get a success.
I think you'll always find issues, though, because there'll always be somebody that'll have some sort of issue with it or something.
Yeah.
Who knows? I don't know. I really don't anymore. I think I'm just waiting for aliens to turn up now. That'll be next week.
Wait till it mixes with that Siberian juice.
But the thing that worries me is the way things are going. It's for everything that's put out by the government, there's something to counter it, to put a different point of view in that person's mind.
What's happening at the minute is all these scientists all around the world, they're all creating vaccines, all using different technology to do this, different ways to strip it to this protein and add that protein to make it look like something else. But the trouble is, it's taking the Earth billions and billions of years, and to create all these microbes and shit to be as a whole. It's a whole like.
Yeah, it's just a big petri dish full of stuff. Yeah,
and humans are fucking with that system by doing all these things.
Manipulations.
What is going to happen down the line when one of these mutates because it's been somewhere near Chernobyl and it's picked up some background radiation and it mutated this virus and it's now got 4 legs instead of 2 or whatever. Do you know what I mean? This is the trouble. We're messing with nature. This is the only. I mean, people always want to live longer, don't they?
Yeah.
Everybody wants to live longer, but that's not natural. What's natural is that people die in the 40s and 50s and 60s. That's nature. One dies, one is born. One dies, one is born. With humans, one dies, 5 is born. One dies, 5 is born. There's no controls. In Africa, lions kill each other. They die, they get it, and stuff like that. And it's equilibrium, isn't it? Yeah. Humans. I'm glad I'm not going to be alive in about 200 years' time because I hate to see the planet. Because it's going to be crawling with humans all over it, with nothing left underneath apart from a husk. And there's no to stop it, is there?
No, the ban hating children as well, which didn't help.
The banning children.
No, the ban hating children, which didn't help.
Oh yeah, yeah. The ban hating children. Yeah.
They all
it all stopped. All the common sense and all of that kind of thing. All the rights and wrongs all stopped when people stopped playing with dog shit. When people stopped writing the names on Causeway with white dog shit, that's when it all changed. When a manhole cover was renamed an access port because it says it was a manhole cover, and it was the word man that made it, and that's when it all went tits up, because from that point on it's all been politically correct. It's got worse and worse and worse, and now you can't fart because somebody might be offended by the smell, and they'll sue you because you've made the chest bad. Do you know what I mean? It's just this is what the world's turned into, though, isn't it? A compensation culture, claim off somebody else rather than work for it. Does your head in? It's hideous when you look outside, like, isn't it? And you see all these people running around, them all unmarried with 4 fucking prams and another one like this under arm.
Take the back government.
Yeah.
It?
But at some point, the people that's doing all the working, like you and me, is going to be stopping working. But the tossers that are not working now have not paid no in. Do you know what I mean? So when they come to be in our situation, they're going to be screwed out because there's going to be no money in government to pay them because they've not paid any master tax. Yeah. And the tax we've paid in has now been spent.
Yeah.
That's going to be a nightmare.
I don't want to get old now. Cheers.
No. I suppose it happens to every generation right back. You know, as grandparents will have been having the same kinds of discussions, but it will have been on different things. Yeah. But a similar catastrophe. Yeah. It's just how it is, isn't it?
Yeah. Unfortunately.
It's all good. It's all good. Right, well, I'm going to love you and leave you, John.
No worries. I'll leave you to it. No Grant this week.
No, he must be on the job. I think you were on earlier making funny comments.
Yeah.
You know, he tends to make these names up and come in.
Yeah. Sound right. Goodbye to everybody in chat, and I'll let you close, and I'll see you in a bit. All right. Enjoy your afternoon, everybody. Bye.
See you later. Thank you, John. It's been grand having you, and thank you, Liam, for that lovely video. We'll see what we can get him to do for you next time. See if we can use the proper camera so we can do it, you know, squared up kind of thing. But I understand the issues. Thank you for joining me. Give us a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Trying to get them numbers up a little bit. And in the meantime, I shall see you next week with an update on something and perhaps something else to look at. In the meantime, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you later.